get your muscles adjusted so that the breath can flow really deep. Sometimes that requires tucking the shoulder blades under a little bit, or kind of tucking the chin so the back of the neck can be really long. Give yourself a couple of easy, deep cleansing breaths. Huge inhales. And release, exhale. Feel the body receiving this chance to just ease. We take a moment to connect with an idea for today's class, so a little intention. So today's idea is the word tonic, essentially giving our body an aid or a boost to help it out so that regardless of what's going on around us, we can cleanse ourselves from some of the either physical gunk that's going on or maybe deeper levels, the emotional stuff that always pervades the news. And so we'll be doing especially things that help us to work on a little bit of strengthening, especially for low body, the legs. So with that strengthening, we're imagining that we're making that heart rate have to pick up just a little bit. That's helping to cleanse the circulatory system. And then when we take beautiful long stretches afterward, it gives us a chance to really stretch deep, kind of cleansing out the lymph and moving into the deeper ability to receive stretching. So that's our idea today, tonic, especially for that low body. And so with this idea to help lead us into our class today, let's begin to take knees into chest. A hand on each knee and just start off easy, simple rocking. Left and right or circular rocking, whatever feels better for that low body, low back. Good. Start to spread the arms open left and right. The knees will tilt all the way over to the left. Just a simple spinal action. Feel the muscles of the back receiving this stretch, this opening moment. Maybe the right toes start to slide out. So it's just pulling the spine a little bit deeper, maybe even getting into a little bit of a hamstring stretch. If it's too intense for the back, allow the right shoulder to be off the ground. But as long as you can comfortably keep it grounded, let it be right there. Pulling the spine into that twist. Like we're rinsing it out. Beautiful inhale. Exhale. Right leg can go back to a bend place and then the knees rise up. If you'd like to rock 2 or 3 times, just helping to reset the back muscles, that's okay. Eventually we're aiming the knees over to the right side. That's the second side for the twist. Again, give the muscles just a couple of breaths to start stretching on their own. Feel how it is to take breaths deep into belly space. Option to allow the left leg to start to slide a bit longer. Absolutely fine if it's not all the way extended. Explore to the ability that it feels good either for hamstring or back or both. Huge inhale. The exhale. Let that left leg bend again, and then lift the legs up in front of our body, laying on our back again. 2 or 3 rocking motions to each side, almost like a gentle massage for those back muscles that are just stretching. And then from here, we'll set the feet down on the floor, close to glutes. We're going to take a bridge pose, including the arms. So with a long, slow inhale, the hips will start to lift, and then the arms will slowly make their way up overhead. With a long exhale, the arms travel back down at the same rate that the hips return back to the ground. So both arrive at the same moment. So take it with a long breath. So the full inhale is the lift, arms and hips. The full exhale is the lowering. Imagine that because the arms are here, a part of it, including the extra squeeze of the air out at the bottom, the extra inflation of the lungs at the top. So in that way, it's almost like we're helping them pump the lungs. Generally, when we're upright all day, the lower lobes of the lungs have all the blood. So this tilting action is helping to make it so that the upper lobes of the lungs have a lot more of the blood. That helps with the oxygen exchange. The blood's able to pick up just a little bit more of the oxygen. So let's take 3 more slow breaths like that. Take your time. Inhale that full lift. Exhale that long journey, returning back down. Twice. Last one. So those glutes having been much more active. Whenever you return the hips to the ground, no rush if you're still making your way there. Take it to happy baby. Mouth wide. We're trying to grab for each foot. Let there be stillness for a little while so that the knees can get the chance to try to pull open a bit wider. Feel how it's a chance to relieve the very low back and the sacrum. By the hips getting pressed open, that low back gets just a little tonic. Walk over to the left until the left knee touches the ground, and then extend the right leg up to sky. Switch it out. Rock to the right until the right knee taps the ground, left leg extends up. Once more, rock to the left. And to the right. Now when the hips return back to the floor, both legs extend and open. Hands can rest on the inner thighs for a moment. There tends to be a lot of bending to the knees. Try to extend the heels out and need as much length as possible right now. And we're going to take the right ankle to the left thigh for figure 4. Right ankle to left thigh, and then the hug is around the left shin or the left thigh, whatever you can clasp her. Releasing the hands, keep the ankle up. The left foot goes back to floor. Hands slide in right beside the hips. We're gonna stay up in bridge pose with this ankle up. So lift, take a quick peek up, making sure the hips are level. That means that there has to be a little bit of extra lift going on in the right hip. Take 2 more breaths there. And use that next exhale to return the hips to the floor. Keep the ankle up 1 more moment. We're tilting both legs in this unit over to the right for a couple of breaths. And then tilting both legs in this unit over to the left. Good. Hips back to floor. Release, uncross, recross with the left ankle on top. Figure 4 hug. And as hands release, the foot back to ground. Hands on the floor by the hips. A bridge pose. Lift and stay lifted. A quick peek to see how the hips are. Try to level them out, so left hip might have to rise just a bit. 2 more breaths. Exhale to lower. From here, the legs in this unit fall over to the left. Rise up. Fall over to the right. And as they rise back up, uncross. We'll roll like a ball a few rounds. A little massage for the back. So we're rocking up to boat. And rolling back, little back massage. Just 2 or 3 of those. Next time we'll stay in our full boat pose. Either hold here boat or start to circle the legs out like bicycles. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Both feet plant on the floor. Hug around your thighs, so you're trying to touch torso right up to that top of the thigh. Then we'll slowly start to walk the feet forward. So 1 foot goes into two. Next foot goes into two. Just slowly walk your way out to the point where it feels like your hug is about to separate. So with the ability to still hug on, touch thigh to chest, only go about that far. Some of us might have the knees lifted quite a bit. Some of us might have the knees almost flat. Not pressure either way. But let us include some of the deep hamstring and back muscles. If possible, try to just let the weight of the head drop down, so maybe the back of the neck gets a little stretched. For to rise, you don't want to just rise up immediately with the back muscles in this seat of a stretch. So you'll plant the hands to each side, and you'll press into the hands to help the back slowly. Once you're up, open the legs. It's okay if they're bent. It's okay if they're straight. Whatever allows hips to stay more stacked. And then find the right on the right leg. Up and over. Go side position. Stretch. Rise. Second time. Rise. Let the hands in front of you. Just see how much the body's going to allow us to stretch. Rise up, pick up the knees like cobbler's pose. And lengthen the spine up, then tilt forward. Eventually you'll find a point where you can't go any deeper, so at that point you just look at the spine up. Rising up, get your right knee to flip over on top of the left knee. Hands plant behind you. You're twisting through the spine. If this twist is enough, that's fine. If you'd like to lower down to one or both elbows, that can help to deepen the twist. Back up to hands. Face forward, flip the knees over to the other side. And same thing, get your hands behind you first. That's enough, great. If you'd like to drop down to one or both elbows, go right ahead. And rise up. Come up into just an easy cross-legged seated position. We're going to take just a couple of rounds of alternate nostril breathing. Imagine with this tonic image that we're going with today, imagine this is kind of helping to cleanse us from almost like the deepest energetic level, and then we work up from there. So on your right hand, tuck down the pointer and middle finger. You're going to use your thumb and then ring finger to just alternate between one nostril and then the other. So start off with nothing blocked. Take a normal inhale through both nostrils. Normal exhale out both. Use the thumb to plug off the right. Inhale left. Switch. Plugging up left. Exhale right. Stay here, inhale right. Switch to exhale left. We'll take 3 more rounds. Inhale left. Switch to exhale right. Inhale right. Switch to exhale left. Inhale left. Switch to exhale right. Inhale right. Switch to exhale left. One more round. Inhale left. Switch to exhale right. Inhale right. Switch to exhale left. Drop the hand, close the eyes, just take 2 or 3 grounding breaths. Feel how calm the body is, especially after that breathing. Start to head into a bit more activity, especially for the legs in the next segment of class. So as much as possible, imagine that this calmness that we just created is that calmness that we're trying to maintain in mental health. So opening the eyes, take our way to hands and knees. Let's begin to move with our breath. With our exhale, we're lifting to a nice cat. Belly down, inhale. Wow. Exhale, cat. Out. 2 more rounds. 2. 1. Walk the hands forward to the right. We're gonna, almost like a seesaw, extend our hips back to child, and then forward to plank. You can maybe push up. Back to child, forward, perhaps sailing. So parts of the body warm up. Arm strength. Spine a little bit more willing to move with that. 2. And 1. A bonus breath in. Back up to all fours, kneeling. The right leg slides back. Keep the leg long for this moment. We're going to lift that right leg up as high as you can, and then tuck towards the 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. When the toes come down, press into a calf stretch. So sometimes I keep the other knee off the ground, on the ground. Sometimes I lift it off. It just depends on how much your calf is. Go back to kneeling. Left toe slide out. And we're going to lift that leg all the way up as high as you can. Here's 10. 9, start to feel your glutes each time. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then the toes press back into left calf stretch, however deep you can get. From here, lift up to downward facing dog. It's going nice and high. Maybe pedaling out the legs. As the heel drops closer to floor, you can feel the calf joined into the party. Good. Shoulders forward over wrists. And we're trying out a side plank. So both heels rock to the right, and then left hand tries to float up. Beautiful. Left hand down, heels to the left, right. Beautiful. Lower the hand in plank, try to take chaturanga. You can rock to knees if needed. Nice back bend, Sphinx or Cobra. Let's look for a bonus on it. Child or down dog. Be a bit longer or walk up to top of that whenever you're ready. Maybe take a moment to walk hands over to the right, almost like a spinal twist. Walk to the left. Back to the center. Next, inhale to rise. Take your time. So pull arms up to sky, slight duck bend. Down to heart. Beautiful. So arms down by the sides. This will help the balance a bit. What we're going to try to do first is lift the heels up. Keep a little bit of the inner thighs using together activation to try to find balance. Good. Slowly lower heels down. Sit the hips back. Squeezing our thighs together. Maybe try to lift. Let's come here. Lowering heels, straighten the legs, 5 more to each part. So slowly lifting up to the calf. Slowly lowering with control. Back to fierce left. By the way, if knees are touching in a place of squeeze, if that makes it so that the knees aren't staying stacked over the ankles, then you would just keep it square. So whatever allows the stack. So let's try for this build. All right, setting heels down one more time. Straighten up. Heels from here. Good. Sometimes we're on a boat, and that's okay. Go ahead and softly lower. One more time. Up to heart. With the hips back. Knees never go forward, of course, so back instead. The lift. Right. Goes down, straighten up. Take the right knee to float. Toss under that right knee. Try to extend the right knee out. Crown of head, lift up, shoulder down. Beautiful. Bend that knee, send it back to warrior three. Your arms is fine unless you want to move forward. And land that right foot at the back of the mat. Nice float up. Tilt forward just a bit, pop up onto the back toes if the heels are down. And what we're going to do here is bring that right knee into the chest and tap back in. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. True warrior ones in the back. Rest all the way down. Good. Hands come down to the hips. Front leg straightens. Try to square the hips forward. So if you need to shorten scans a bit, that's fine. And start to bend in the waist over that front straight leg. Once you're about halfway there, hands can drop down to shins. 1. When he bends, start to heel toe that left foot to the outside of the left hand. And on the floor, slide the right toes back a little bit, like a supported plank position. And the elbows are going to bend and cross. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Softly lower the right knee to the floor. And you choose if you're staying on wrists or lowering the elbows. Coming back up to hands. Lift up back the knee. We're going to try to float it into kind of like a Spider-Man position. So we're sliding the left toes back. The left knee is trying to pull explicitly punch that tricep. Good. 3-legged dog. Left leg up to the side. Twice more knee. Tricep hold for a moment. And up. Once more. Tricep. Up. Feet plant to the floor. And plank position. Heels over to the right. If you want to make it harder this time, the feet are stacked instead of separated. Left hand flips. Side. It's okay. It's okay. We'll do second side. And we'll switch.
And Gabby only have 2 arms.
We only have 2 sides, yes. Good. And down. Kneeling plank or full plank, chaturanga lower. Swings our cobra. I'll pose our down dog. So from down dog, you choose how long to stay. At some point, make it up to top of mat, but no rush. Up to right. Down to heart. Shift your weight onto right foot. Floating left knee, see if you can clasp under that thigh. If you're there, maybe there's enough balance to try to extend it out. Good. It briefly bend, kick back, warrior 3. On the toes, sweep the arms up. Tilt forward just a bit. And then we just stand on right, the left foot. Good. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Tap down, drop the heel down, warrior 1. Hands at the hips. Straightening the front leg. Again, check to see both heels are down, the hips are able to square forward. If you need to shorten stance, that's okay. And with the waist. You're about halfway there. Transition upward. Front knee starts to bend again. Heel toe the foot further to the right, the hand on the inside. Slide the other toes back. Good lunge position. Good. And making elbows. Breaths. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Softly lower the back knee. Stay on wrists or drop to elbows. Back up to hands. The back knee. From this plank position, we're going to try to start the right toes back so the knee is close to the tricep already. Hold. Good. Three-legged dog. Reach that right leg forward. Twice more. Good tricep. Hold. And extend. One more. Tricep. And extension. Beautiful. Land the foot. Heels fall to the right. Again, they can be stacked or not stacked. Start to lift up left hand. This time, if you want one more challenge, start to slide the left leg a little bit up the thigh like a tree pose. Good. After you've had a good go at it, go ahead and start switching sides. So stacked or unstacked. Wanted that third challenge, tree pose. Make sure you're looking at something like the floor that's really solid. Good. Drop down. Feeling like or full plank, chaturanga. Back bend, child pose or down dog. We worked through most of the challenges. So start to slow down. Just take a moment from this down dog and feel the heart. Feel the heat and the strength that we created ourselves. And ready up to forward fold at top of that nose. And consciously slow down the breath. And come to rise when you're ready. Give the head enough time that it's not getting dizzy. Down to the heart. Let the feet separate about as wide as the mat. Toes start to turn out. From here, we're slowly sinking into Malasana pose. If Malasana isn't good for your knees, go wider and you'll just kind of pull halfway. So, full Malasana would be swung all the way down. The elbows make contact with the knees. Press it open. Good. This is going to be a very slow flow. So here we're another full breath in. Out. And drop to the floor. Lengthen the legs. Arms up to the sky. Hands down to heart. Twice more. Toes turn out. Slowly squat your way down. Breath slow. Drop down. Lift the legs out forward. Toes turn forward. Rise. Up. Down to heart. One more time. Toes turn out. Try to go extra slow. Really feel the strength of the legs. Let lower all the way down. Moment to feel extra lengthening the spine. Drop down, forward fold. Rise. Down to heart. Turn open to the side that faces you to center of room. Step the feet nice and wide. Toes turn out. So hands start down. With an inhale, the legs will squat, the arms will reach high. Exhale back down. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Knees back to bench, hands to the inner thighs. As we lean forward a bit, this will help to push those thighs nice and open. Let's even dip the right shoulder forward for a spinal twist. And left shoulder. And back forward. Start to straighten the legs, turn the toes forward. Dive all the way down, wide angle forward. Hands could be in a variety of positions. You could stretch them forward to find more length in the spine. But walk them through the legs to try to pull you a bit further in. But also have hands on ankles. So lots of options. To the floor underneath your shoulders. Let's walk the hands a bit further to the right, bending the right knee. We're sinking the glutes down toward a skandasana, a wide stretch, if like basically as low as your knees are happy with. This one also, I'm going to let you have a variety of options. The heel down can feel nice for kind of playing with the balance. You could play with hands at heart if you want to. You could play with drop down to elbows if you're wanting to go more to the flexibility side. It's up to you. I usually like to have my second foot turned up so the knee is beautiful, beautiful. All of us look great. Let's slowly begin to switch sides. So length through right, then through left. You're balancing. Maybe we're sinking lower. Good. Back to both straight legs, bowing forward. And we're going to take it to frog pose. I usually like to set myself up with extra padding for frog. So walk kind of backwards off the mat. Flip. If you're doing the extra padding, you can flip the 2 edges of the mat in so the knees will have lots of padding. And then you'll start to set down the inner knees to each side. The hips are trying to stay in line with the knees. So you can use the mirror to see if your hips are going too far forward or hips too far back. You're trying to be right in line. Good. Lowering the elbows is usually possible for people. Just see if you can relax the inner thighs. Usually when I get right into it, the inner thighs are trying to resist it. They're trying to like squeeze together instead, which is their way of protecting themselves. So if everything's still safe and good, try to see if you can relax those muscles. Just a couple of breaths. I know it gets really intense. If you need to come out before others, you'll slide forward until belly's on the ground. But if you're doing okay, just a little bit longer, just try to. Ready to come out. Again, go out to belly. Keep the feet come up. We'll do some windshield wipers. Good. So we're going to transition to laying on our back from here. So go ahead and open your mat back out. When you're on your back, give your legs a little hug. I'm just going to gently rock, especially after that deep hip opener. This will feel like a good moment just to kind of relieve some of that tension across the hip area. Even if knee circles feels better, take a couple of rounds of breath like that. Good. We're going to let the right thigh cross really tightly over the left side. Once we're there, each foot swings off to a side. So just try to have the hand grab onto each side that's closer. So sink into whatever depth feels good here. Meaning if you really don't feel any sensation, just grabbing on. You could also use some arm strength to pull the ankles a little closer to the chest. But if this is intense already, you just stay or even walk hands a little closer to the knees for a little bit of knee relief. Arms are going to spread open to each side. The crossed legs are falling over to the left. Good. The knees lift back up. Uncross. Sometimes I'll do knee windshield wipers, just letting the knees fall left and right a few rounds before I switch sides. And so whenever you're ready for left side to be over, take that position. Thighs come into chest. We grab onto each ankle. And if you need more, hug your legs in with more arm strength. If it's too much, you can release some of that. Arms spread open. Cross legs fall over to the right. Hips back to floor. Let the feet out as wide as the mat. Take a few more windshield wipers left and right. Good. Knees back upright. Let the knees fall into one another. I'll guide us through one last breath as kind of a final tonic for our practice. But if after that breath, you feel the need to do another stretch or two before you rest in your Shavasana, that's always fine. For this breath, it's called Sitali or Sitkari, depending on which version you're doing. And this breath is specifically helpful in the summertime to help cool our body down. It acts very much like a swamp cooler. And so this is helping to just bring our body into balance, especially after all the heating stuff that we've done. This will help the energy to cool back down, bringing it into good balance. So we've aided our circulatory system, and now we're just reminding our energy, our emotions, everything that it's okay to cool and slow again. So if you can fold your tongue in a taco, you'll breathe in through the taco tongue and then exhale out the nose. If you can't do that, you'll do kind of a cheesy grin so that you can breathe in through the spaces of your teeth instead. So either way, it's picking up moisture and then exhale out the nose. So we'll do a few rounds, just go nice and slow. I'll let you know when it's the final round. So inhale, taco tongue or teeth. Exhale out long in the nose. Take one more deep and slow. You're ready to transition to Shavasana from here. You could stay or extend the legs. If there's last stretches you need for a couple of moments before you relax, that's fine. Ultimately, we're eventually finding that peaceful state of stillness, or we'll rest for just the last couple of minutes. We'll begin to take our inhales and our exhales. Introduce little movements to the body, hands and toes, elbows and wrists. Stretching out in ways that feel really good. Perhaps take a comfortable fetal position off to one side if you'd like to. Letting the body continue to slowly transition back to presence, back to awareness, turning from that beautiful Shavasana state. Maybe 2 or 3 more breaths until you feel ready to come up to a comfortable seated sooner. Whenever you're up, sooner or later, hands join together in front of heart. Here we recognize and we fill into our body, recognizing especially that circulatory system, how much more active it's been. So it just helps the body feel like it's prepared with vitality, with health for this coming week ahead of us. So with this beautiful tonic, as well as that little trick to help cool down the body, like a spot cooler, with this to help lead us into this beautiful warm week with lots of energy. Let's wrap up the time we shared together with the sound of Om. Deep inhale now. Breathing with light, happiness, and peace. Namaste.